This story takes place 55 years from today, in a world that's no longer the same. The entire Earth has been destroyed. Only dry land and withered trees remain. The reason? Rising temperatures. In just 5 years, the temperature has increased by 10 degrees. Due to the extreme heat, everything has been wiped out. Only a few people are left, surviving in their homes and only coming out at night to search for food. With nothing else available, humans have started hunting each other for survival. People cover their entire bodies with cloth to avoid the sun's deadly rays. If exposed, they turn to ashes instantly. During this time, we meet 3 survivors. 2 sisters, Mary and Cora and Phillips. They have been struggling to stay alive for a long time, always on the move in their car, since they have nowhere to stay. Recently, they heard about some distant mountains where the weather is still cold, and other survivors might be living there. Hoping for a better chance, they set off in that direction. While on the road, Phillips steps out to check the fuel. The outside world is nothing but devastation, scorching heat, no humans, no animals. Then suddenly, he spots a bird flying in the sky. It's shocking, but maybe it's a sign that their destination is near. A little further ahead, they stop at a deserted gas station. Phillips starts refueling the car while the sisters search for food and water. Mary enters a grocery store. In this world, money has no value. Only food and water matter because survival depends on them. They remain on high alert, knowing that at any moment, someone could attack, steal their supplies, or even kill them for food. After searching for a long time, the sisters find nothing to eat. Then, Mary notices a stranger outside, stealing from their car. She shouts for Phillips, who immediately rushes over, but the man runs into the grocery store and takes Cora hostage. It turns out he has been starving for days. He just wants food. Phillips quickly attacks from behind, and a brutal fight breaks out. But soon, both men realize that fighting won't help either of them. The man introduces himself as John, a mechanic. He tells Phillips that their car won't last much longer. The heat has severely damaged the engine. John offers a deal. If they give him food and water, he'll repair their car so they can reach their destination. After thinking it over, Phillips agrees. Once the car is fixed, John advises them to switch vehicles if they find another one along the way because their car won't last long. This worries Phillips. If their car breaks down, they'll be in serious trouble. However, John seems trustworthy, so Phillips invites him to join them, believing an extra pair of hands could help. John, who is already looking for companions, immediately agrees. But the sisters are unhappy with this decision. They don't trust John, but they have no choice. Now, the 4 of them continue toward the mountains, carrying extra fuel for emergencies. After driving a few miles, they encounter a major obstacle, an iron crane blocking the road. At first, Phillips and John try to move it by hand, but it's too heavy. So they tie it to the car and pull it aside. During this, they notice a crashed car in a ditch, seemingly from an accident a few days ago. When they check inside, they find food and water, a treasure in these desperate times. Nightfall is approaching, and they need to leave quickly and find shelter. Phillips contacts Mary through the walkie-talkie, asking her to bring the container down, but she refuses. She doesn't want to leave Cora alone. Phillips insists, but Mary won't budge. Hearing this, Cora reassures her, saying she's not a child and can take care of herself. Frustrated, Mary finally climbs down. Just then, Cora's terrified scream echoes from above. The 3 of them immediately rush back. In her hurry, Mary twists her ankle, trips over a rock, and falls hard, losing consciousness. When she wakes up sometime later, she finds herself alone. She climbs up, only to find Cora missing. Suddenly, John grabs her mouth and pulls her aside. He explains what happened. When Mary fainted, they went up, but a large group of starving people had taken Cora. There were too many of them, and if John and Phillips had stayed, they would have been captured too. John warns Mary that these people will do anything to survive, even eat humans. Hearing this, Mary breaks down, thinking about her sister. Soon, she finds Phillips and hugs him. She insists they must go after Cora, who knows what condition she's in. But Phillips refuses. He says they don't know where those people went. Mary refuses to leave without her sister, no matter what. Meanwhile, John climbs a tall tower to look around. He spots smoke rising from the middle of the forest. Maybe they're there, he says. Your sister might be with them. Mary's hope reignites, and the 3 immediately head in that direction. When they arrive, they see a large group gathered around a fire. Cora is chained, some people are drinking, while others are beating her. Mary can't bear to watch, but they need a plan. John comes up with an idea. I'll create a distraction with an explosion. While they're panicking, you 2 grab Cora and escape. Mary, keep the car ready. It sounds like a solid plan. Mary and Phillips rush to the car, while John sneaks toward the camp. Just as one of the men is about to spot Mary, John sets off the explosion. It works, but then Phillips hesitates. Fear takes over, and instead of rescuing Cora, he runs back to the car. Drive. Now, he yells at Mary. These people are dangerous. They'll kill us. But Mary refuses to abandon her sister. Phillips, frustrated, argues with her. But before they can decide, the attackers start running toward them. Now, Mary has no choice. She speeds away. As they escape, one of the men throws a weapon at the car, injuring Phillips' leg. Despite the pain, they manage to get away. After some time, Mary makes a life-changing decision. She can't leave her sister behind. She's going back. Phillips is furious and disappointed, but Mary is determined. In the end, they part ways. Phillips continues toward the mountains, while Mary heads back to save Cora. Alone and unarmed, Mary walks through the dark night until she reaches a railway track leading to a tunnel. There, she finds Cora's bag. Inside is a childhood photo of them. Tears well up in Mary's eyes. Then, she spots a shadow approaching. She freezes. But it's not an enemy, it's Phillips, limping and injured. I couldn't leave you alone, he says. We'll find Cora together. The two enter the tunnel and walk through the darkness. When they finally emerge, the morning sun is blazing. The heat is unbearable. Mary immediately retreats into the tunnel as Phillips collapses. His condition has worsened. Mary stops him from going further. Stay here, she says. I'll go alone. With that, Mary sets off alone. She walks all day, across deserted bridges, barren fields, and endless wastelands. Then, in the distance, she spots a church. Hoping for shelter, she steps inside and meets a lone survivor. This isn't a safe place for a woman alone. Some groups capture girls and force them to bear children. Mary shudders. His words feel terrifyingly real. Come with me. It's not safe here. After some thought, Mary agrees. Along the way, she tells him about Phillips, injured and waiting for help. Eventually, they reach a house. It belongs to Angelina and her family. Seeing the home fills Mary with relief. Finally, people who help others. Angelina gives her food and a place to rest. It feels safe, but Mary knows one thing. She can't trust anyone too easily. In the morning, when Mary wakes up, she finds herself locked in a room. Angelina had trapped her. She screams and bangs on the door, but it's useless. Then, she hears voices outside. Phillips and Cora. Her heart sinks. They've captured Phillips too. It all makes sense now. These were the same people who had set the trap from the beginning. They lured in victims with a false promise of help, only to hunt them for food. Hunger had turned them into monsters. After a while, Angelina enters the room. She hands Mary a dress. Wear this and come downstairs. We're waiting for you at dinner. Then, she brings Cora in and locks the door, allowing the sisters to reunite. Mary hugs her tightly, overwhelmed with relief. But there's no time to waste. They have to escape. Mary knows how dangerous these people are. She quickly gathers all the clothes in the room and twists them into a makeshift rope. Just as she's about to use it, Angelina's son walks in. Thinking fast, Mary distracts him, coaxing, pretending to be intimate. He becomes completely engrossed, unaware of what's happening. That's when Cora strikes from behind, hitting him on the head. He collapses unconscious. Mary acts fast. She lowers Cora out of the window with the rope. Run to the forest. Don't look back, she whispers. But Mary doesn't escape. Instead, she goes downstairs in the dress. Seeing her, Angelina assumes Mary has accepted her fate. She smiles and introduces Mary to the entire family. At the dining table, Mary notices something horrifying. The meat on their plates isn't from animals. Her stomach churns. Disgusted, she throws her plate and tries to run. But before she can escape, Angelina's son regains consciousness. He knows what Mary did. Enraged, he catches her, beats her mercilessly, then drags her to a locked room. Inside, Mary's blood runs cold. Phillips is there. Or rather, what's left of him. Half his body is missing. The family had already eaten him. Tears sting Mary's eyes, but she stays calm. She had stolen a knife from the dinner table earlier. With shaking hands, she cuts her ropes and escapes. While running, she stumbles into another room. What she sees makes her freeze. It's a storage area, filled with captives. These people were locked away, waiting for their turn to be slaughtered. Then, among the prisoners, she spots John. She rushes to open the gate, and the prisoners pour out, running for their lives. But as they step outside, the scorching sun burns their skin. Those without clothing perish instantly, their bodies seared by the heat. The lucky ones, those who manage to cover themselves, flee toward the forest. Meanwhile, Mary spots Angelina and her son. They've captured Cora again. Angelina approaches Mary, her expression cold. I could have killed you that first night, she says. But I thought you were different. I thought you would become one of us. But you turned out just like the rest. Rage boils inside Mary. Without thinking, she plunges the knife into Angelina's stomach. Angelina gasps, collapsing. Her son rushes to her side, momentarily letting go of Cora. Mary seizes the chance. She grabs her sister and they run. A little further ahead, they find John. Now, the three of them escape together. Days pass as they journey forward, exhausted but alive. Eventually, they reach a cave. Water drips from the walls, proof that there's a water source here. Birds circle above, a sign of life. Relief washes over them. They can survive here. But as they climb higher and look at the land beyond, their hope fades. The entire region is barren, desolate, just like everywhere else. Reality sinks in. The world they once knew is gone. There may not be a place left where life can thrive again. Still, they find comfort in one thing: they have water. They can survive a little longer. And for now, that's enough. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.